Good evening, everyone. We are back with another review for Tales of the Old Republic, an edited series on your channel, which seeks to take KOTOR, what was the first KOTOR game, and chop it up into basically the equivalent of a TV series. All for my benefit because I'm too lazy to play a game, and I'm too lazy to watch like a 10 or however many hour long Let's Play. So, yeah, we're doing it in bite-sized chunks. We're up to episode 5 and 6 today, which concludes volume 1. KOTOR, that the first game is going to be split across 3 different volumes, and this kind of ramps up to sort of like a mid-season-ish finale type deal. Yeah, I am joined again, of course, with Star Wars aficionado and the editor of Star Wars Episode 9, A Spark of Hope, in a very, very nice place.
Oh, yeah.
Framed. We're outside. We're in a different location. Check this out.
Yeah, I'm on the porch.
How you doing, man?
Not too great.
Oh, this is uncomfortable. Right. Okay. Segue.
My channel got hacked.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to just like mention that real quick before we
Yeah, my channel got hacked. Google hasn't been particularly helpful, but hopefully that changes with some situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in talks, and you know, it's helpful to have friends in places.
Yeah.
Or friends with friends.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Shout out Movies Remastered.
But yeah, hopefully Google or the powers that be, whoever deal with that kind of thing, whichever automated fucking robot they've got on a help desk now can help you out with that channel.
You see that? No, you see now I'm talking to an actual person.
Oh,
so
okay.
while the systems are fucked, I have like thrown a bunch of moral shit at him, and like here's like actual like brain.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully we you know, you get that taken care of, and top men are working on it. Who? Top men, and we'll and women. Sorry, shit, what a fucking misogynist I am. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, diversity and all that good stuff. Anyway, let's talk Star Wars, specifically Tales of the Old Republic. As I say, we're up to episode 5 and 6. It is not a promising start where right before I went live, I said, what happened in episode 5 again? And it doesn't feel like a whole lot happens. I mean, I'm not going to sort of levy criticism at the voice acting. I feel like I do that all the time. The voices that have been added to this in order to make it like a movie, because the game has a silent protagonist. I get it. The protagonist needs a voice. I'm fine with the protagonist having a voice. I'm not fine with the protagonist having this voice. That's the issue, I feel. And a few of the other auxiliary characters as well, like the Jedi Master who trains him and stuff, is very weak, very flat, and you can hear the microphone difference, which is always a big giveaway. But essentially, they're on a quest to go and, I guess, find the Starforge or find the clues to the Starforge. It's either to understand what the enemy's plan is, or so that they can possibly get to it first and either destroy it before it falls into enemy hands, or for
it's already in enemy hands. They just right. have to destroy it.
And you mentioned this last time. I was like, I'm so done with maps. Like, it feels, I don't say it's very video gamey, because of course it is a video game. And then you were like, oh, we've only just begun. And then they were like, there are 4 locations with maps and you have to go to all of them. I was like, oh my God, this is a Bethesda game. Fuck.
Oh, BioWare.
Oh, BioWare, sorry. Bethesda do the same shit, but...
No. But you're not wrong. It was a fair assumption in that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same musician.
Yeah. So protagonists head out on a quest, and they will also be joined by Cat Lady in a very, very quick piece of dialogue. A cat lady that will do absolutely fuck all, and we will see one more instance of her in the next episode. She doesn't do anything in episode 5. Oh wait, no, it's just is it the whole?
There's a lightsaber,
right? Well, she's just kind of like sitting next to a bar, I think, isn't she, in episode 6? But in episode 5, is it the whole crew that go, or is it just Bastila, the main character? Okay.
No, they all go. Because you see them, you see Canderous talk about his planet, Ordo.
Yeah.
Very similar to Tatooine, except it had some green in the middle.
So they enter the evil. Well, I don't know if it's evil, but the ancient temple. They
Oh yeah,
mentioned that they've sent a Jedi envoy there to sort of like a scout to scope the area out ahead of them, and he
poor
hasn't
Nemo.
returned, and they fear that he's dead. So it's
He's
in
pretty
part
fucking dead.
to uncover more information because both of them shared this dream that had the temple. So they feel called to it in a way. It also has clues to the Starforge, which they later find, but also it's kind of just to check in on this Jedi as well and see what's what. They arrive there and they quickly find that the Jedi is dead, right? I think that's one of the first things that
Nemo is dead. He's just on the ground.
dead as fuck. And there is a kind of like a spider droid there who has a very weird and kind of unnatural sounding voice for the robot. I should have left like at least a 20-minute pause before saying that word, shouldn't I? And he's kind of caught in a loop. He's talking about the history of the temple. He refers to the builders, which thankfully I know, having researched it. I believe it's the the Infinite Empire, the fucking hammerhead shark guys.
Yeah, them.
The ones that were birthed by evil magic, like whatever they are. Anyway, them.
Yeah, those guys. I like how the droid cycles through different languages until they can like understand it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Like it's like this. You can tell like it's it starts off with something with the actual like Rakatan language, and then it goes to the fucking Tuscans.
Mm-hmm. So
And
yeah,
then
so
it changes somehow.
he's stationed there. So if he believes them to be one of the builders or something like that, or if a builder returns seeking knowledge of the Starforge, he is there to provide that. However, his knowledge, conveniently, very video gamey, is very limited, and he's been programmed to not divulge too much, or he's got some kind of like inhibitor on him, which restricts him from just talking all about it. Really, talks about their infinite empire and that the Starforge was like the crowning achievement of it. And they learn that he has been there for many years. I forget how long. He mentions revolutions. I have been here for like many revolutions or something, but I can't remember how long
It,
exactly he says that he's been there.
so it's like he counts the number of revolutions of the outermost planet in the system,
Yeah.
and I think it's like 10 revolutions, which is 20,000 years.
Mm-hmm. And then they find the map that's a map to all the other places that have maps to the Starforge, right? It's a kind of like a chain of places, or is it more information on it? What is it exactly with the hologram that they see?
It's the star map.
It's a star map which shows them the location of other star maps.
Other star maps.
How do
You
they
know,
know
because that's
what order to go to them, though? Like, is there a specific order you've got to
so.
read these maps, or?
What I'm assuming, so the way I assume is because Bastel describes it as it's incomplete and corrupt. The data is corrupted, and so that's why it doesn't show the actual Starforge. And so I think if you copy the data from each one, and then copy and paste the data from a different one onto it, and then just like keep like don't replace existing data, you eventually have a full
Yeah.
star map.
So they learn this, and they travel back and relay all this information to the Jedi, and they say, "Well, you got to go off to find all these star maps, then, haven't you? So hop to it, basically." And I think that's it, really, isn't it? Once they've done that, they agree to go on this adventure. All of them are going to go together. I will say, and this is kind of a critique now that I'm finding as we've got a few more episodes in. I'm hoping that the supporting characters get a little bit more to do. Obviously the main protagonist has to come first. Bastila and the main character are definitely being pushed. I completely forgot that they still have that blue like Twi'lek chick with the Wookiee. I'm like, they've done absolutely nothing. And I get it's probably for the aid of actually playing a video game and having all of these characters that maybe you can level up, or you've got the tanky characters and whatnot during gameplay.
She can pick locks.
I'm not really seeing that side of things, really, because this is like a movie, but in terms of their contribution to the plot, it is very slim. And I'm hoping that changes, because, you know, there's a lot more to go.
So, believe it or not, when they get to Kashyyyk, the Wookiee's going to have some plot.
Okay, that's fine, as long as, yeah. Because it doesn't seem like they're juggling the... I was like, can we... You know, we should probably cut down on some of these supporting characters, because we've got the Mandalorian sort of soldier guy who's with them. You've got the other guy who was with you from the beginning. You've got Bastila, who's the Jedi. You've got a Wookiee. You've got a Twi'lek. You've got a fucking droid. And then they pick up another droid at the end of this. I'm like, oh, then we've got Cat Lady. I'm like, this crew is way too big. This isn't the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, let's chill out. Let's pare this down. Let's merge the guy who you arrive.
There are only 8 of them so far.
That's a lot for a group, though.
I know. There's still one more. Here, okay, so in the other series, in Kevin's series, in the first movie, they don't go to Tatooine, but they do get another companion. But Juhani isn't even in it. And neither is T3.
Mm-hmm.
T3, they just get off screen before movie 2. And there's like one piece of dialogue, of expository dialogue to say that they got this droid from a Zabrak on Telos, which ends up retroactively tying into the 7th movie.
Right. Yeah,
because that's a not so subtle reference to one of the companions in 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how I'm feeling at the moment is, I mean, if all of them get something to do and it kind of all comes together before the end, then fair enough, and their place is justified in the game. As it is at the moment, I'm thinking this is character bloat. I'm like, we should combine somehow the guy who you arrived with the commander soldier guy. They should be one character. Ditch the cat lady Jedi, because we already got a Jedi who's more central to the plot with Bastila. We've got 2 droids. Get rid of one of them and just have HK, because he's great, and he's definitely probably my HK and Bastila are like my favorite 2 characters so far, I think.
Yeah, no, I knew you were gonna like HK. HK is great, and also you get to call him HK because the main character does.
Yes, yeah. I know that's a Terminator reference. HK, Hunter Killer.
Yeah, no, that is what it's short for.
They took it, yeah. We have a quick.
And I also think it's a reference to the AK-47.
Maybe. We cut to our villain.
Yeah,
the villain has just stood on a command station of a ship all the time.
His hands are behind him,
and he just stares out the window and he just says, like, "Destroy that planet. Bring them to me alive and unspoiled." And it's just, there isn't much to him at the moment. I'm hoping that changes. I'm sure it will, having, you know, I know the twist, so I'm sure we're going to get more details and stuff like that. And then we arrive at the fucking planet that's meant to be away from anything interesting, a godforsaken spit of land that no one ever travels to, really. No one knows it's there. Everyone keeps forgetting about it. And yet it's so fucking central to everything now. It's Memberberry Central. It is, of course, Tatooine. I am so bored of seeing Tatooine now. I'm so done. And this isn't even a fault of this game. It's just, you know, that's Disney with all of their TV shows and their infinite wisdom.
Oh, no. It's not just Disney. This was a problem. This was a problem pre-Disney.
It was pre-Disney, but then Disney just went, right, we're going to do Jakku. It's totally different, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to do Pisana.
Here's the thing. At least it wasn't Tatooine.
And then
like,
we
it might
Tatooine again at the end of 9.
Yeah, we do.
Like, we did three fucking desert planets in 3 movies. Insane. Absolute insanity.
2 movies.
Mando, we go back to Tatooine. Multiple occasions. Book of Boba Fett, we go back to Tatooine.
I actually thought that first planet in episode 1 of season 1, where he finds Baby Yoda, was Tatooine at first.
Yeah, again, very similar, very similar. Kenobi, Tatooine. I know he's got to be on Tatooine, but even still, I'm so done. I'm so done with Tatooine. Anyway,
That one like had to be on. Literally 100% couldn't have not started on Tatooine. Started and ended.
now they arrive at the cantina, and yeah, I think the cat lady just kind of stands off to the side and doesn't really do anything. Why do they have to buy the droid again? Do they learn that Bastela's mom is there, right, and that her dad is ill and or dead? Does she learn that?
It's recommended. Oh, sorry.
Does she learn that her dad has died at this point, or is that just exclusive, or is potentially like away and injured? Does she learn that here, or does she learn that in episode 6?
She just learns that her mother is sick in episode 5.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, it's recommended to Dan that he if he's gonna like take out an expedition into the Dune Sea, he should get a translator droid.
That's it, and we get that in the form of oh, sorry. First, yeah, Biff musicians again. I don't know if this is figuring Dan and the modal nodes. It looked like there was just one of them. Maybe one of them went solo. Maybe
it's 4,000 years before that.
I don't know how long these live for.
Fair enough. It could be like Kiadi Mundi.
Oh, Maz Kanata, who's like millennia old apparently.
Yeah, she's run this watering hole for 1,000 years, which means she's probably older than. So she's got to be older than that.
She references the Old Republic, doesn't she?
No, the Old Republic in the respect of like the prequels.
Oh, I don't know. Because she says that she's seen the Sith rise and fall. I'm like, oh fuck, we're going like way back.
No, she saw the Sith and then the Empire. I assume she was just talking about the Separatists, like Dooku. And
oh, okay. I inferred that it was like way back.
Listen, there are not many references to the prequels in The Force Awakens. Like, Disney, let's just get them where we can get them.
Disney have fucked with the timeline and the canon overall in terms of when events took place, and it feels a lot shorter now, like the history. But yeah.
I'm so happy about this. I'm actually no. I'm 100. I hate that this is 4,000 years before the rise of the Empire. That is too long to be before the rise of the. That is too long.
Why?
Let this be 1,000 years before. Let this be the war that like it ends the Sith and so on. Because people 3,000 years after this, people playing a miner and a Republic soldier playing a card game talk about Revan like we talk about World War II.
And then apparently Luke Skywalker.
Just let it be smaller. Like if it's not going to be 1,000 years ago, let it be 2,000 years ago, and then you have this 1,000-year block of history, and then you have this next 1,000-year block of history.
But Han Solo isn't a myth. Luke Skywalker is a myth, despite people looking for him. Okay.
Well, Han Solo. Well, no, because Luke is a Jedi, and because Luke was like a Jedi, and Han to her was just a smuggler.
Yeah, but Luke
smugglers are real.
Around like 10 years ago, people like actively looking for the motherfucker, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's a myth, he's a legend, he hasn't been seen." But yeah, I'm like, we're literally looking for like, shut the fuck up. Like, he's not a legend, he's not a myth. People should be chanting his name across the galaxy.
Why?
Motherfucker blew up a Death Star and well, she knows that it was Luke who saved him, right?
It was Lando Calrissian who killed the Emperor, as far as the galaxy is concerned.
But it was Luke who you believe there was good in him, that he could be turned. She knows that information, but yet in the first movie, she's like, "Oh,
well, that's the myth.
He's a legend.
That's the myth.
I thought he was a myth. I thought he didn't exist. I thought he was whispers."
Yeah, everybody knows that. Everybody assumes that it was that the Emperor died in the explosion, and that whole Luke Skywalker thing is just a myth.
But yet she knows everything about him and all of his exploits. But he's
she saw the original trilogy. That's the myth.
Okay. Okay.
That's the myth, dude.
Right. Carl
Hey,
says,
Carl.
guys, how you doing, man? Yeah, so that's the end of episode 5. They get HK, and he's got a real hard on for killing motherfuckers. So
He's so great.
he reminds me
I
of
love
KOTOR,
this.
though. Just that same kind of like sassy droid. It's always the
A bit.
isn't it always the droid who's the best character, near enough, not all the time. But I'm thinking the sequels. Can't fucking stand the sequels. But episode 9, C3PO is the best thing about it. I can't stand The Force Awakens, but BB-8 has some really cute moments in that first. But yeah, at that moment. Hey, there we go. You get
Wait,
yeah. I can't do it on mine. It doesn't work on mine. It only works on the person who's actually like on the other side.
what? Wait.
Flip it to the side. Fuck. Do like a normal thumbs up. There you
What
go.
the fuck?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't work for me.
What is that?
Doesn't work. Yeah, that's the thing. Which I'm guessing means you can do a thumbs down. Tilt your hand to the side, you fuck. Hey, there you go. Yeah. What about that? Is that one? What's the etiquette for that? Thumb out, thumb in, like what's?
It's whichever's more comfortable.
So it's like the rock horns, like there's that.
Exactly.
That. Like,
it's just about this, man. It doesn't matter if you're doing this.
Yeah. And then we get on to episode 6. So we're on Tatooine, and we go into the Cantina Bar, and we meet Bastler's mom, who is an absolute bitch, but very similar in mannerisms to her daughter, which I thought was interesting. The two don't see eye to eye, and they bicker, and they're just as bad as each other, which is often how it goes in situations like this. And she says that...
Yeah.
She's like, I'm dying. And she's like, oh, you've said this a million times. Why should I believe you? You're just doing it for attention. Complete and utter narcissist. And she's like, no, really, I'm dying. And she's like, okay, yeah, sure. And doesn't she say that, like, oh, your father has gone missing. He's gone on a treasure hunt. He's a bit of a collector. He's trying to find some, like, priceless...
Crate dragon pearl.
Yeah, a crate dragon pearl so that we can sell it and get a lot of money so that it can pay for my treatment. And yeah, there's a crate dragon out there, and you've got to go.
Big difference from the game. The crate. So, in the game, you know how in Mandalorian they lure out the crate dragon and use mines.
Yeah,
you do that, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Mandalorian straight up stole that. Just saying.
Yeah.
And like teaming up with Sand People to do it, it's just it was ripped right from that.
Yeah.
And I will point out this is the same episode that opens with the planet that is almost identical to Terrace.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, because that crime boss sends him to Cobb Vanth.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Now, at this point, do they know that the crate dragon is guarding the star map, or is that just a happy coincidence that this side quest also ties in with the main quest?
So Dan is very much like, we'll do it we'll go for this if we have time. And then the Sand People tell them that the crate dragon is guarding the star map.
Well, that's convenient, isn't it?
Well, don't they talk about that?
Well, they say that it corrupted the crate dragon with its dark side.
No, it also drew it to it.
Oh, okay. Is that a thing for crate dragons? Can crate dragons fall to the dark side or be lured by the dark side?
Listen, they like every crate dragon. One of like the most prized possessions of hunting a crate dragon. That like if you kill a crate dragon, it has one. Is a kyber crystal.
Mm. And is this one of the
So
first...
I'm going to say yes.
And is this one of the first iterations where we see a depiction of a crate dragon? Because this is very different from other adaptations of crate dragons I've seen. As of the original trilogy, we see a skeleton of one.
Yeah, that's all we see, and that's. I'm trying to remember what like that's a leftover prop from a different movie that they just had.
Probably. It just looks like a snake. I don't think there's like any legs coming off of it. I think it's just literally, well, literally like a snake body, really, as far as I know. But this is like an actual dragon. This is like a sort of monitor lizard thing, like a Komodo dragon, 4 legs,
No wings.
no wings. This is Glaurung. This is the Glaurung of dragons right here. Big old chunky boy with 4 legs. And they go off on their adventure. Along the way, there is a bounty hunter who's out to get them, who dresses incredibly flamboyantly, which is wonderful.
He looks ridiculous, and I love it.
They talk to Sam people, and I think they're just like, please help us get rid of this crate dragon, right? Is that what they say?
Well, they say,
Yeah.
but they say we'll only like stop the attacks if you prove yourself, and you can prove yourself by killing a crate dragon.
Mm-hmm. Well, they get there, and her father is dead, like dead as fuck. And they see the star map. They.
Well, hang on. We didn't cover the difference. We covered that it was different. We didn't cover what, like, how they get rid of it, which is what is different.
Oh, they use the Force. They do like, what they do with like the snake thing in episode 9, and they just use the Force, and it's best friends with them now, and it just leaves. But it
yeah, it's what Qui-Gon uses on the on the bigger fish.
Wait, what?
Allegedly, according to one of the books, like I think one like the junior novelization, Qui-Gon was using beast control on the bigger fish.
Oh, fuck off! No, he wasn't. The big fish was just there and ate the other fish.
There's always a bigger fish.
He wasn't controlling it. That's so dumb. Fuck that.
Yeah. It also beast control is a power introduced in Knights of the Old Republic 2.
And then Emperor Palpatine has a giant kaiju battle with Darth Vader as well, which is not canon. No.
That was so cool.
It was fucking.
It's a shame that all of those kaiju got killed before Episode 9 in that fight specifically.
It's dumb. It's awful. It's
wouldn't it be great if they were actually there?
No, it wouldn't. Yeah.
Like, imagine it instead of like a planet killing laser. Every single one of those Star Destroyers had a Zillo Beast.
So the crate dragon fucks off, and then you've got flamboyant bounty hunter guy, and then Hobbit music starts playing in this version that we're watching, and then there's a big shootout and fighty fight. There's Sith there as
Dark Jedi
with red lightsabers.
So I really like what he's doing here because with the story he's told here, he has taken the events, he's taken the events of one of the storylines, but he's recontextualized them because at every single one of the planets, after you escape Terrace, except for Dantooine, of course, and Korriban because it's Korriban, you run into a Dark Jedi that says, Lord Malik was most displeased you escaped Terrace alive. He's promised a great reward for whoever destroys you.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time. You don't like here. And he says it in this, but it's not at all related to like the main quest. It's just an encounter in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
I like that it's actually tied into what's going on here, because the Sand People only die if you... Well, actually, that's not true. There's a neutral way to kill all the Sand People, and there's a dark side way to kill all the Sand People. The light side way, you just walk away.
Mm.
Like, you make peace, they agree to stop the attacks.
Yeah. Anyway, the bounty hunter starts running away, and you give chase. And I say you corner him, but he's just in the middle of the desert. It's like, where are you going to run to? Like, we've got you. We outnumber you.
And he's got a bottle of motor oil.
Yeah, and he does the Boosh thing from Return of the Jedi. He's like, I've got a fucking thermal detonator. Come near me. I'm gonna blow us all sky high. And then conveniently, the crate dragon just happens to be in the near vicinity for the main protagonist to use beast control or to beckon it over because they're best friends now, the BFFs. And the Krayt Dragon shows up and snacks on the bounty hunter and eats him. And he's holding the thermal detonator and it blows up. And then,
which is the same animation as the mines when you actually kill it in the game.
And then the main character is very upset and goes, "Oh my god, I'm sorry, I didn't realize." I'm like, the bounty hunter is literally just waving around a thermal detonator in his hand. What did you think was going to happen? And
wouldn't they explode until they pooped it out?
We're all very sad that the Krayt Dragon died. This isn't meant to be the skeleton of that same Krayt Dragon, is it? Many, many years ago?
Maybe.
Oh god, I hope not. I'm sure
in the game you kill it in a cave, so it wouldn't be the same spot.
Yeah. Oh, it can't be just because anatomy-wise, this ain't a Krayt Dragon. But I just wondered at the time it was made. I'm like, maybe. So yeah, he's like, "Oh God, what have I become? I've killed this horrible, but still really cute,
mortally wounded."
Oh,
he puts it out of his misery.
Yeah, then he finishes it off. Yeah. I'm pretty sure though a thermal detonator going off inside your stomach will be enough to that'll do it. But
I mean, it would certainly be we're not Krayt Dragons.
Remember,
true, it survives landing on them.
The bounty hunter wasn't even standing that far away from them, and he says, if I blow this up, it's going to take us all out. And that thing went off inside the Krayt Dragons. So
this is true. That whole I'm taking all of you with me. That's from the remember when they're escaping terrorists and Davy's like, "Sorry," and that ain't gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
When he killed Davik, he does that, and then the ceiling falls on him.
After this, we have quite a nice touching moment actually, where Bastila goes back and patches things up with a mom. It does feel very quick and feels like a complete 180. It's like Holdo's a bitch, Holdo's a bitch, Holdo's a bitch. Oh, but when we need to change her, oh, now she's happy and smiling and everyone's great. Yeah, it feels like that. It's like we need to create this animosity between mother and daughter, and then we do the quest, and then I don't know if you can make conversation choices for Bastila, but it feels like you could probably pick one to have her still hate her mom at the end, one to reconnect, and one to just kind of be indifferent. Maybe, I don't know.
It's you pick things that influence Bastila.
Right. Okay. But it's quite a nice moment. I quite liked it, and she gives her 500 credits, and she's like, "Get yourself to Coruscant and get yourself
a lot of money."
Yeah, I was like, "Is that going to be enough to get off planet, especially to Coruscant?" And then you got to afford. I don't think 500 credits is what a Krayt Dragon Pearl would be, but
maybe you can get a bus ticket to Coruscant for 100 credits.
Well, I mean,
according to the game, the Krayt Dragon Pearl is worth 1,000 credits just in when you get it.
Well, I
mean,
they were going to give Han Solo 17,000 credits. I know that's just let's make him an offer he can't refuse. But even still, just initially, the down payment was 2,000. That's still a lot more than 500. And that was to get from Tatooine to Alderaan, right? So
yeah, but that's selling his speeder. That's selling Luke's speeder.
Yeah, but I'm saying if Bastila's mom wants to get from Tatooine to Coruscant.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, okay, so here's the thing: Tatooine isn't what it is yet. Tatooine, Anchorhead is the first settlement on Tatooine. The Sands Crawler that they're using.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same Sands Crawler from the future that we see the Jawas using in 4,000 years. This is when it gets there. Those are from Zerka's mining operations, except all the metal and resources on Tatooine suck. So eventually they're going to pull out. The reason they chose Tatooine is just because it's easy to get to. It's like it's in an intersection of hyperlanes,
Hmm.
which is why it ends up being really good for crime.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now it's just a desert with hunters and miners.
Mm.
It doesn't have like and swoop racing is
Miners, not miners.
you think they're miners? Of course they're miners. They're like 6 years old.
Oh, that was like Tatooine as well, a little bit. That planet.
It was. It's really
Um,
cheap.
yeah, I love it though. It's such a good fucking movie. Love Galaxy Quest.
No, to film in a desert, it's really cheap.
Oh yeah. And then the last moment is where Bastila finds a hologram of a video message. It's like "I love you 3000," basically, of her father, sort of giving an update saying, "I can't wait to go on this expedition. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get enough money to save my wife." And then it cuts, and he's like, "Oh, I'm dying. The Great Dragon got me, and it's dragged me in its cave." And he has this really weary, dying voice, and then all of a sudden he sounds real chipper at the very end, and he goes, "End of personal log," or "End of personal message."
I'm assuming he recorded like that's from entry one,
Right. Okay.
and it's like it's just what you play what plays when you close the holocron. Which, by the way, this the one of these they're calling it a holocron, but
Mhm.
that's a datacron.
Yeah. And it
Holocrons are
reminded me
forces.
actually of the Jin Erso scene from Rogue One, where she sees the hologram of her
The
father.
Stardust.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what he was going for because he's got the Rogue One music at the beginning
Hmm. He's
of
like,
Episode One.
I've implemented a weakness in the Death Star. I'm like, yeah, but you haven't really though, have you? You've put it down the very back end of this really difficult to get down fucking trench, which you've manned with thousands of turbo lasers, where everyone
It worked,
fucking
didn't it?
dies trying to get to it, to make a shot that only a space wizard can fucking make. Like it wasn't a plot hole. It was never a plot hole. I'm pissed off when people keep saying it was a fucking plot hole. It wasn't a plot hole. And I like Rogue One, but that shit pisses me off. You know what else pisses me off? The fact that Darth Vader he is out in space. He sees the Tantive 4 fly the fuck away, having murdered
He
half of its
sees
crew.
he says a Corellian blockade runner.
And he sees it. And then in the next one, Leia still tries to lie. I'm like, shut the fuck
Oh
up.
no! That's what you do. Like that's when you get a parking ticket.
Motherfucker made him want to leave.
No. I will back this up to the very end. If you're driving 75 in a 45 zone, and you get pulled over, and the police officer says, "Do you know how fast you were going?" You lie.
Yeah, but at this point, it's like, why even try? Come on. He was there. He killed half
No,
the crew.
it's not at this point. You lie. You do not implicate. You are a senator. You do not admit to anything.
It's like, you are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. He's like, bitch,
That
I was
like
just
he
at
is
Scarif.
really certain. Like, let's point out, he is certain that she's guilty. All
Yeah,
she's doing is trying to talk her way out of it.
he's like, I still have the blood of the men that I killed over Scarif. Not 5
I'm
minutes
just
ago.
saying. I'm just saying that is not a plot hole. Like
No,
Princess Leia refusing to acknowledge that she's part of the Rebel Alliance
it's just a
is
little
not
dumb.
a plot hole.
It's just a little dumb now. You gotta give me that. It doesn't all add up. You're recontextualizing it, I get it, but it is a bit McClunky.
It's not as straightforward, but I mean, I wouldn't say it doesn't add up.
I don't know. I think they went too far in a few places. Like
Oh,
having
definitely.
having Dr. Evazan and Ponda Baba on Jeddah.
He's the he's one. He has the death sentence on 14 systems.
12. Well, I guess it would. Did he have the death sentence on Jeddah? Because that place went boom. So does that not count anymore?
No, I think he was. I think he was because I think it's canon that he was running from the Elephant Man.
What, Anthony Hopkins? No, John Hurt.
No,
Oh, the Imperial spy. Okay.
like she because he's on there too. Remember?
Did you get my joke? John Hurt, the Elephant Man, the movie about John Merrick, the guy with the deformity, often referred to as the Elephant Man.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Just checking. Just checking. Yeah. What was that? What was that Imperial spy guy? Was that okay? One thing I've completely jumping ship here, but we had Tusken Raiders in here. Are they the actual Tusken Raiders' face, or are they masks?
Those are masks.
Okay. What do they look like underneath? Do we ever see?
Uh oh, hello.
I've unfortunately googled what a Jawa looks like under the hood, and that's terrifying.
It's pretty bad. Um, you know why Jawa's eyes glow?
No.
Because they have kyber crystal goggles.
Really?
Yep, legend.
I thought they were like little rats with like giant yellow eyes.
I thought so too, but I guess they have kyber crystal goggles.
Fine. They'd be worth a pretty penny if you sold them, I think, wouldn't they?
Yeah, yeah, no, they would be. They're like incredibly rare. They're not just regular kyber crystals. They're like incendiary ones that cause fire damage.
Well, at the end of episode 9, we see Rey flying over a sandcrawler with Jawas who go like, "Oh, dee!" And the next scene that we see, she's igniting a yellow lightsaber. I think Rey killed those Jawas, stole the kyber crystal lenses.
They're like animals,
and she slaughtered them like animals. And then she made a double-bladed... Oh, no, it's not a double-bladed lightsaber, is it? That's in my head. That's in my head canon. I wish she'd have done that. Although in your edit, she makes a rainbow lightsaber, so...
Shut up, don't... Oh, God.
2026, baby!
I got damn it. If that movie ever actually
I don't think that movie's getting made. I don't think it's
getting
made.
Listen, a part of me genuinely hopes it doesn't, if for no other reason that I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do that so badly.
It's like me with Orcrist. It's like, when I get to that Lord of the Rings edit, I know it's going to have to happen. Although she'd probably be using it a lot more in your edit than...
It's also like so much worse than making Glamdring glow blue.
Yeah, it is.
It is so much worse.
Yeah.
It is so much worse.
I know. If it does, you're going to have to just go back and just make it into like a blue lightsaber or something, or like a...
No, because it's so it's like, it's my favorite chapter in the novel.
I think I've said everything I can on Tales of the Old Republic. Then it just ends where they're going like, "Yep, we're gonna team up. We're gonna kick out
an end speech.
We're gonna find more star maps."
Yeah, Varkor has a tendency to end his movies like that, with like somebody giving an end like credit speech.
Mm-hmm. It worked. It did feel like a finale. It felt like an ending. So we're just gonna be finding these fucking star maps one by one. How many more we got? 3, 4?
2 down, 3 to go.
Kashyyyk. Have they mentioned where all the ones are?
Manon and Korriban.
Okay, well, why don't we go to Korriban next? Do we got
because no, because you want to do Korriban last, because it would be towards the end where like the struggle with the dark side is at its greatest, and so thematically it works really well. Also,
I just mean gameplay wise. Can you choose which one you go for?
Oh yeah.
So
you can't bring Bastila onto Korriban. You're just like, hey, wouldn't everyone here recognize you? And she's like, yeah, I'll stay on the ship.
A wise choice. But yeah, that's it. That's as far as we got so far. So I don't really have a whole lot to say. I just kind of hope that some of the supporting characters get a little bit more to do. HK and Bastila are my favorite two characters so far. Hope the villain gets a little bit more to do. It still feels like a lot of setup at the moment. I mean, we've got our initial goal,
Yeah.
which is good. So we're grounded. We've got a plan. And the plan, I think this second act is just going to be kind of meandering a little bit. But we'll get nuggets of information as it builds towards the end, I'm sure. But
So the second, let me try. So yeah, well, oh wait, did we not see Darth Malak in the finale?
I don't think so, no. We just saw him a little bit in
We
5.
didn't. Hang on, let me just double check real quick. Broken the illusion. I'm using my phone. Where?
How's everyone doing, by the way? No, I think we see Malik in episode 5. We don't see him in episode 6.
Yeah, no, we see him in episodes at the very. So we get because we get Saul Kareth telling him that Calo Nord is dead.
Oh, okay.
And then he's like, "My apprentice, Darth Vanden, will take care of them." And then the door opens, and he walks out, and a Sith trooper just kind of like walks in front of him. So he uses the Force to throw him into a computer that explodes and kills two other guys as well.
Mm.
Just so you know what a badass this guy is.
He just turns around and goes, Golga! Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that moment.
But yeah,
right?
so we are introduced to Darth Vanden, who will be the villain of Volume 2.
Yeah.
And also, yeah.
Okay, there we go. So that is the end of Volume 1, end of Episode 6. I think until things get smoothed out, we're probably going to be taking a bit of a pause on these.
The next two episodes are scheduled, at least unless whoever's hacked the channel has decided to change that for whatever reason. They are scheduled to release on Sunday.
Mhm.
However, I don't have any more uploaded at the moment. So let's find out if I have to make a new channel before I proceed with that.
I think what the plan is at the moment is I think we might even just like review Volume 2 as a whole, or we might just wait until the game's finished and then just do like an overview of the game. Because I know one of the first comments we had on video 1 was, is this a review of the whole game? And I know this is like done like a TV show. This is for my benefit, but maybe it would be better to talk about it as a whole, because it feels like a little bit piecemeal at the moment. We're sort of just getting like little bits. We're advancing slowly, so maybe we should either do Volume 2 overall, where we have something more substantive to talk about, maybe, and then just do Volume 3, or maybe we should just combine 2 and 3 into one, and then we just review the whole game overall by the end.
Yeah, I think that's if we continued to do this episode by episode or 2 episodes by 2 episodes, um, I would say we should also like tack one on at the end to be like, let's talk about the whole game now.
Yeah. So I think that's the plan moving forward with this. But I'm hoping you can get your channel sorted, man. So
Me too.
At least people here know what's happening. But I know that you've posted on Reddit and like people are aware, I'm sure, of what's happening. But do feel free to subscribe. As the weeks progress, I'm going to be doing Rings of Power reviews with everything in Middle Earth. We recently did the trailer reaction that came out just a couple of days ago, which was a lot of fun. And that's going to be happening. Season 2, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more to talk about. I need to catch up with a lot of movies that have come out. A lot of movies have come and gone. Nothing's really taken my fancy. However, at the back end of this month into September, they are re-releasing all of the Star Wars films. They're doing the prequels, the originals, the sequels. I won't be at the sequels, and it doesn't look like a lot of people are. I do keep checking the booking for Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker, and chuckle heartily at how many people haven't booked on for those films. Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones are a sold-out screen, and I'm really hoping the OT isn't completely sold out yet, because I need to book tickets for that as well. But me and Dale will have reviews on that. We need to do some other Star Wars stuff in between as well. I don't want to just cut the conversation dead on Star Wars stuff, but we'll think of stuff that we can sprinkle in. If inspiration takes us and we want to sit down and chat something Star Wars, I'm sure we can get something together. So we will be back and in greater numbers. So thank you to people that have tuned in. Thank you to Carl who's tuned in and commented, and we will be back very shortly at some point with something you guys can look forward to. Take care, everyone.
Adios.